So, Chris, if you can give us a quick hello and welcome to Chris's Chats.
Hello, welcome to Chris's Chats.
It's the 7th episode of Chris's podcast, a dream he's been able to fulfill with the help of Aspire, a local charity. Chris has Down syndrome and is determined to speak out about life with a learning disability. Yet having such a platform is no small feat. While our society claims to be more inclusive than ever before, the number of opportunities available to people with learning disabilities has seen an unprecedented drop in recent years, a stark reality affecting some of the most vulnerable members of our community. Following Chris on his journey, I set out to investigate this hidden inequality.
All right, no worries.
Control.
Let's take that one again. Just 1 second.
After 7 episodes, Chris is meeting podcast manager Jody to discuss their progress and brainstorm for the next couple of interviews.
Oh, good idea.
For Chris, the podcast is an opportunity to create a space of discussion and inclusion for others with a learning disability.
I think everyone deserves a voice. Everyone has a voice. They should not be knocked down because they don't have a voice. You do have a voice. I believe that if you have a voice, speak up. If you don't have a voice, let me be a voice.
Covering all aspects of life with a learning disability, the podcast does not shy away from speaking openly about the challenges that come with it. Among the most pressing is the need for more meaningful engagement. Despite the efforts of Aspire and other local organisations, stigma and unequal access remain regular obstacles for people like Chris.
Some people can follow their dreams. Some people are not that lucky. They're not that lucky at all. I mean, I wasn't lucky at first, but I got this. I got a podcast. I'm very lucky. But some people are not that lucky. And it would be great if other people get that chance too.
The lack of opportunities that Chris has just described is also supported by recent NHS figures. In fact, the number of people with learning disabilities in paid employment is the lowest it's been for more than a decade. Last year, the number dropped to just 4.8%. This can be explained by the combined effect of COVID-19 and the cost of living crisis. I've come to the headquarters of Aspire to meet with the charity's chief executive and learn more about the current situation. In her office, Zoe is showing me the letter that Chris first sent her with a proposal for a podcast. Although she remains confident about the positive impact of grassroots support, the recent low in employment comes as no surprise to her.
It's far too low, isn't it? And I think we do our best to try and look at ways to scale that up. And I do know that in Leeds there's lots of initiatives to try and help move that forward. But the challenge, I think, is sometimes the priorities and how we support people well. And employment can sometimes be forgotten. It can sometimes be an add-on rather than it being something that should be accessible for everyone.
My next stop is a community cafe in Headingley, offering training, employment and equal wages to adults with Down syndrome. Meet Elith, who's been running the cafe for the past 5 years. She tells me that improving employment figures is not always about additional funding or nationwide schemes. It's about being sensitive.
I think a lot of it is awareness and education. There's a lot of fear and a lot of unknown. So if you're going to an employer, for instance, and asking them to take or consider somebody who has, different support needs, they are automatically going to think, well, how is that going to work? There has to be a kind of real willingness and commitment to make things different. And I don't think that is the norm. So I think part of it is sharing good experience, good models, and yes, absolutely celebrating those successes for those individual people, because that's fantastic.
And the cafe does just that. You may have heard of the BAFTA-winning television star George Webster.
Hi, George.
Hello, George.
So happy to meet you. Glad to see your face.
Before making history as the first CBeebies presenter with Down syndrome, George used to work here at 21 Co. Today he returns to the cafe with his dad Rob as an ambassador to MenCap, UK's leading charity for people with learning disabilities. George is keen to see more equality put into practice.
It's important for the society to be more inclusive. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. We all have different needs. We all have different appearances. And being different isn't a scary thing and isn't a bad thing either. Being different is a good thing. Just see us for who we are. Just don't see us as a condition. We're people. We're all people. Just get to know us, understand us, and also just include us in everything.
Catching a glimpse into the lives of people with learning disabilities and those around them has opened my eyes to the hidden barriers that continue to exist in our society today. While we still have a long way to go in achieving a truly inclusive society, both in words and actions, it has become clear that bringing about this change is a team effort, one that requires a real commitment from all of us. Meanwhile, it is important to recognise the work of local organisations, as well as the determination of individuals like Chris and George,
Lovely.
who continue to speak out for a
Fantastic.
better future.